Marc Bernal, Barcelona's teenage Sergio Busquets Reagan, and the Pearl of La Masia en road to redemption after devastating injury. Following in the footsteps of Lamine Yamal and Pau Cubarsí, the midfielder is generating buzz in Catalonia ahead of his return. There are some clubs that are able to churn out young players and bed academy talent into the first-team squad more seamlessly than others. At the very top level, there is no club better at that than Barcelona. Lamine Yamal is the latest graduate of La Masia to take the world by storm. But there are plenty of other examples, past and present, that demonstrate Barca's ludicrous ability to find talent within the confines of their own walls. During a period of their history where money is tight and they are consistently up against it to even register new signings, promoting youth has proven a handy workaround on their way back to ruling Spain. Culers will then be looking forward to the return of 6'3" midfielder Marc Bernal this season after what was meant to be a breakout in the 2024-25 campaign was cut short by an untimely ACL injury. With the 18-year-old approaching full fitness again, excitement is brewing in Catalonia about his prospects in Hansi Flick's side. So, who is Bernal, and why exactly is there so much hype around him? Is he really the next success story out of La Masia? We have everything you need to know on the midfield prodigy. But first, like the video, if you think this guy has what it takes to be the next best midfielder like Busquets, and subscribe for more videos like this. You'd be hard-pressed to find a Barcelona product more local than Bernal, who was born and raised in the Catalan municipality of Berga, only a few miles from Camp Nou. He joined his first club, CE Berga, when he was only 4 years old, and by the time he was 6, he had joined the Barca Academy at La Masia. Barcelona staff were mesmerized by his combination of size and technique with his left foot, according to local outlet Mundo Deportivo. When he played several age groups up in an under-10s tournament as a guest of former club Gimnàstic de Manresa, he scored a hat-trick in the final against Espanyol and was named best player of the entire event. Upon returning to Barça and La Masia, Bernal worked his way through the academy system and continued to impress for a decade before getting a taste of senior football. Shortly after Bernal's 16th birthday, he was name-checked by Barcelona club president Joan Laporta as someone that head coach Xavi should consider bringing into the first-team fold amid their search for midfield reinforcements. Xavi would like to strengthen the midfield, Laporta said in July 2023. But he knows that some options are not viable, and we would be making a mistake. We would be cutting off the progression of the youth team. We have Marc Casado, Pau Prim, Gerard Hernandez, or Marc Bernal. First, we have to look at home. This could have simply been a prime example of Laporta subtly informing Xavi that he would prefer funds go towards other positions rather than another midfielder. But his commitment to La Masia has remained true all the same. Barca have again and again been able to lean on the fruits of their youth development as an alternative method to fund success. Nevertheless, Bernal, now christened as the Pearl of La Masia by local press, did not make a senior appearance under Xavi, and he would have to wait until Flick's appointment as head coach in 2024 before making his debut for the Blaugrana. On August 17th, he started Barcelona's 2-1 win at Valencia in La Liga and was their shining light in the middle of the park.
I want to start with the Bernal injury because, match day one, you see the lineup. I was wondering who they're going to play, and man, it's...
Unfortunately for Bernal, disaster was waiting just around the corner. He followed his superb debut with similarly impressive performances in 2-1 wins over Athletic Club and Rayo Vallecano. But in the dying embers versus the latter, the midfielder went down, clutching his knee. Barcelona's worst fears were realized when it was later revealed he had ruptured his ACL and suffered damage to his meniscus. August had not even rolled into September, and already Bernal's breakthrough season had come to an enforced end. Barca went on to enjoy a special 2024-25 campaign, which saw them dominate Spain, winning all of La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and Supercopa de España. But they came up agonizingly short in the Champions League, falling to Inter in extra time of the semi-finals. Flick was hailed with making his team one of the most exciting in world football, though was criticized for throwing caution to the wind a little too much, and a strong defensive midfielder like Bernal may have brought more stability to their style. Though he's been unable to contribute on the pitch, Bernal has spent this time on the sidelines, improving from a physical perspective. When Barcelona fans got their first glimpse of him last August, he was a rather wiry and lanky midfielder. Since returning to training, he has looked far bulkier and muscular, while other clubs have also taken notice of his talents, with Roma and Real Betis credited with a recent interest. However, Barca are clear that Bernal will stay and play some sort of role for them in 2025 to 2026, a stance best enforced by the fact they tied him down to a new contract with a €500 million release clause weeks after he underwent knee surgery last year. As a defensive midfielder sculpted in the idyllic vision of Barcelona, Bernal is a player who can do a bit of everything. He is efficient at not only sweeping up in front of the back line, but keeping the ball ticking. His debut at Valencia came amid the chaos of Flick introducing a frantic system. Yet Bernal stood out as someone who was metronomic and took good care in possession. The big question over Bernal now is how he comes back after such a horrible injury. Rupturing an ACL is bad enough, and if anything is common enough for us to remember examples that it can be overcome, but the extra blow to his meniscus made this problem slightly more complex. It's why there was no chance of making a return before the end of 2024-25. Presuming Bernal's development has not been hampered too much by this major setback, he is still in need of getting further first-team reps. He has still only played 3 senior games, and though he does look a monumental prospect, we could do with seeing a bit more of him before deciding how far he can truly go. There are some major milestones to hit in the coming months and years, including a debut in the Champions League and a potential call-up for the Spain national team, but that will require Bernal to pick up where he left off 12 months ago. All right, folk, what do you think of Bernal's return to the first team? Will he continue from where he left off? Share in the comment section. I really want to hear your opinions.